My podcast, and today we're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts about debt counseling. Now, what do I mean about the do's and the don'ts? Well, let's get into a deep dive and look what the Act says. And the most important section of the Act is Section 3. If you've got time, go read it. It speaks about fairness. But there's nothing fair when it comes to debt counseling. The debt counselors are more interested to make money out of the poor in looking after the economy, looking after you as a consumer, looking after the credit providers. If you look at the Act, and let's look at Section 44 of the National Credit Act. It says the debt counselor must be a natural person, and he or she needs to work with you as a consumer. Never spoke about, the Act doesn't speak about companies, doesn't speak about call centers. For me, all of that is unlawful. The debt counselors are all there, as I said, to have a luxury life and prey on you as a consumer. The debt counseling process works as follows. It works with an application form, which is a Form 16, where the debt counselor works out the income and expenses, which they will then send through a 17.1, where they will request the information from the credit provider. The 17.1 requests the credit provider to provide them information, like a COB, Certificate of Balance. Nowhere in the Act speaks about the Certificate of Balance. Go into a deep dive and go read Regulation 55, because it speaks about how the credit was obtained. Was it reckless? Was it not? The outstanding balances, a full breakdown of statements. When was the default of the credit life? All of this, what the debt counselor will do is they will rather give you additional credit life to make more money, write you more life assurance, put a credit bureau report on your system which they pay you where you pay 58 Rand a month. All of this does not form part of the National Credit Act. Some of the debt counselors go so far and pull your credit report and look at all that stuff that's on the bureau, and some of those debts might be prescribed. You don't even know what's actually happening on your report. And you enriching other credit providers. And some of the debt counselors are in cahoots with people that purchase books to add that prescribed debt into their books, or be in cahoots with some of the retailers because they're so big. It's for you to start taking control and challenge your credit reports, challenge your PDA statement. On that note, every debt counselor must use a PDA. And if you start looking at that PDA statement, you'll find that there will be credit life on there. You just signed because you were so worried about your debts. Because at the end of the day, you feel, okay, I'd rather hand my pain over to somebody else. I trust them. They must be part of a good thing. They might be part of, because the law says I must work with a debt counselor. No, there's different angles of approach. And some of us will go into debt counseling because of fearing the creditors. You cannot go to jail for debt. The debt counsel will go further and charge you a reckless credit fee. Charge you more than the norm on legal fees. Some of these debt counsel charge 9,500 for a tribunal matter, where the tribunal matter is stipulated in with a regulator. I think it's about between 750 and 850. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's below 1,000 Rand. But they will charge 9,500 Rand. They'll keep 1,000 rand for themselves, or they'll pay 1,000 rand to the attorneys and put the rest in their pocket. That's sharing of fees according to the Law Society. And even your legal fees, challenge those ones. When I'm sitting with a debt counselor, and they're not even debt counseling as a company. And in 2008, the NCR approached us and asked them if we could take over this book. And all what this company done, they rolled the book by employing debt counselors just to put the NCR number there that they can make the money. And nothing has been done. I mean, you've got another company where, and I was part of it. I mean, there's a company, I'm not going to mention names, where they phoned me and they tried to put me under debt review, and I didn't even have an accounts. That flagged on my credit bureau status. I took them on with the regulator and the credit bureaus. So when it comes to debt counseling, rather work with an individual debt counselor. Work face to face with that debt counselor. Because you've got the rights. If you need further assistance, DM us if you want to come out of debt review, or if you would like to go into debt review. We pre-qualified debt counselors who we feel I feel they ethically and they work according to the act. By looking after you as a consumer, with the right team, you can become debt-free quite quickly. Debt counseling is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But you have to choose the right debt counselor. Never deal with a call center. Never work with a big debt counseling company, because the MD or the CEO is committing offense. They put their name on those core documents. So you can challenge it. Just apply the Consumer Protection Act. I'm not an attorney. I'm just showing you what I've picked up. And now, with my team, or our team in the legal side, what we've got, the debt counseling side we've got, to protect you as a consumer. DM us and let us know how we can help you. Be awesome and be great.